So let's try another kind of animation. So instead of cross-dissolving like this, which is a change in opacity, I'm going to go ahead and delete all of the in-between frames. So see what I'm doing? Shift clicking, taking out those 5 that were created, and I'm back to having 1, 2, 3. I don't really need this one right now. So I've got my 3 different frames, and I'm going to go ahead and reduce these all to 0.1 seconds, because instead of a transition of a cross dissolve, I'm going to move the position. To do that, I'm going to need some more room. So I'm simply going to take my crop tool and grab the edge of this and drag it out. I don't know, just some number I can reproduce later. So how about 100 centimeters, whatever that means. Probably room for about 3 of these side by side. So I'm going to say yes to the crop, and you can see that it changed all of them. And I'm starting out with a position of my angry face over on the right. I want to end it with this face over on the left. But first I need to get the red one there. So I'm going to duplicate and take this frame and move the face all the way over to this edge. So I've got the face on the right and the face on the left. So we're going to move it from there to there. So I'm going to do my tweening again. And I've turned off the opacity. We had opacity on, which created that cross dissolve. Now we're just going to worry about position. So we're going to say OK. And now watch it move across. So we're going to then change from red to the happy face. To the surprise face. Which means this face needs to be over here so that it can change from one to the other. And then I'm going to have it move across to the right side. So let's just leave happy face out of this one for now. We'll just do it with the 2 so it can bounce back and forth. So we're going to have it change to this one, and then we're going to move over to the right. Now I need a tween in between these, causing it to move back to the right. Let's tween it for position, again 5. Let's see what that looks like. And it'll go back and forth forever if we wanted to. And I think what will make this look even better, if we don't have that little pause on the edges, it'll look more like a bounce. So we are going to remove this one. We used it to make the tweening, but as soon as it hits that edge, we want it to start back and be yellow. So I'm going to delete that one. And then when it hits this edge, we want it to bounce back and be going in red. So I'm just going to try and remove this one. No, remove this one. A lot of experimenting here. Let's hit play and see. It bounces back and forth, back and forth. And if you want that to slow down, you could select all of them and make that 0.2 instead of 0.1. It'll take twice as long, but the file will not be twice as big. So people can have more time to see it. Let's export that, see what it looks like. File, again, export for the web. Using this legacy exporter, we're going to need to, let's see, it takes a few seconds there. Make it much smaller. Say 600 wide. Let's see what that looks like. Clicking in another box to have it resize it. Maybe Control plus to zoom back in. We are looking at all of those different colors. Probably don't need that many. We just have the happy face, the surprise face and the angry face. A little bit of gradient in there. This is 143 kilobytes, so still pretty small. Let's reduce this to 128 and see if we even notice a difference there. They're in motion the whole time, so we could probably even go something as basic as 32. We can see that gradient there. Let's go back to 64. And that did reduce the size to 94 kilobytes. Sometimes that's really important. If you're making something that you're going to send via text, it needs to be small and quick because not everybody has a super fast phone plan. So you'd want this to not take forever or the phone to say this is too big. All right, let's save that and call it animated about bouncy emojis. Definitely put a descriptor in the name, especially if you're going to try out different things. Otherwise, you could end up having lots of these that look similar and not know which one is which. That is bouncing back and forth, back and forth.